All right. So, NCIS Season 1, Episode 6. And this was a very good one. It was very light on humor. I mean, there was some. Like, they began, well, the very first scene was the undercover cop, narcotics cop, who is taking a picture uh, of a barrel. And then, but hiding also, so he's not caught. And then he's running off. And two guys start chasing after him. He's very woozy. I mean, he's acting like he might be drunk or something. And he almost gets hit by a car. And it was so weird because he almost gets hit, and it's like the guy is like, "Are you okay?" and watches him run off, and he just drives away. Okay, so he gets on a bus and promptly dies. And one of the guys who gets to him first, which we find out is Kane, also an undercover cop. Now, I don't know if that third guy was also an undercover cop or just a useful idiot. But anyway, and we find out later that this guy who died was the cook. So he's wearing a jacket, and Kane's eyes widen, and then he runs off because, in his words later on, there was nothing he could do for him. Now, I don't know, even if you can't do anything for someone, still call 911 and, they'll bring a body bag. It's like, okay, there's a dead guy on the bus, but no, he ran off like they were guilty, like they were the ones who killed him. So, not a good look. And then we cut to the NCIS team. And so they seem to be working out. And it's sort of a team competition. Team Australia, Team AFP versus AFB, I'm sorry. Wait, AFD? AFC? I don't know. Versus NCIS. And turns out they tied. And I'm not sure how that happened because they show Evie taking down her guy and Deshawn failing horribly. So, sorry, I broke a nail. So, they then get a call. Maggie gets a call. They go to the bus. Evie is the first one who goes on there. She recognizes the guy. She opens his jacket, sees USS Pascal, has a freak out, and she runs into Dee. Dee's like, "You look like you saw a ghost." And she's like, "Uh-huh." And just leaves the bus. Which was odd because I'm pretty sure the bus exit was that way and she went that way. Now, I realize that because, this is Australia and they drive on the opposite side of the road. But so either I misremember or there was a error there. But anyway. So she gets off the bus. Dee finds the guy's phone and, puts it in his pocket, and apparently he has no wallet. And everybody's like, what is he doing without his wallet? Now, I wasn't thinking anything at the time because I remember working at the library and people would forget money, their wallet, their purse. Maybe it's in their car or they left it at home. It was just very bizarre that you would go somewhere where you could potentially need that stuff and you don't have it with you, especially leaving it in a compromising place. So people are really weird. So I didn't think anything of it. So they get back to the station, or NCIS headquarters, and they're trying to figure out who this guy is and what is going on. And like I said, Evie is sitting at her desk across from Deshawn, and Deshawn is like, hey, look at this. And it's a picture of Kane and this other guy. And Evie is watching this, and she looks like she's going to be sick. Deshawn notices, and she's like, yeah, I think we're just going to go home. This is after she locked a wallet in her desk drawer, which, that's not suspicious at all. Not at all. So, Deshawn doesn't, he's worried about her because, they've been partners for a while, and, partners worry about each other. They should. Now, the way these shows work, I'm worried that this is more than just, two friends worrying about each other. But I'm going to live in my happy place where people understand that, partners can be just friends, even if they happen to be about the same age and one is male and the other is female. So I'm going to go with that. So he follows her home just in time to see her leaving with the two guys that they saw on the CCTV. Now, earlier, while she had just gotten out of the shower, at least that's what it seemed like, or getting ready to go into the shower, she's wearing her robe. And Kane and this other guy come, and this other guy is really, if he's an undercover cop, I would be concerned because he's way too gun happy. So, Kane convinces him to put the gun down, that Jess is the best cook that he knows, and that they go way back. And so, like I said, she takes off with them, and she looks none too happy about any of this. And Dee is watching this, and I figured, okay, he's going to follow them. But, and I think he does, because when she's at the gym talking to the guys and this new guy that she's supposed to be working for, he doesn't seem to trust her, which, okay, fair, he doesn't know her, fine. And then Dee comes, and the owner has to go full on racism on him, or at least the manager or whatever, bodyguard. So Jess takes care of him, and she clocks him. And Dee is like, what the hell is going on? Look, if you're in trouble, let me know. And she really doesn't have a chance to tell him anything. Just makes him leave. And Now, by this time, he had found the wallet, and he kept it from the others. You know, it's like he wanted to say something, but he didn't. Which, what the hell, Dee? Why not? I mean, you're helping Evie, you're helping potentially the case. So, they figure out he had a, I don't know, he seemed to have a, I'm not sure it wasn't if it was a prosthetic or if it was just surgery, and so they traced it with the serial number on it, on the femur, to who owns it. Like, okay, alrighty. So they get a name, and then finally Dee says, well, that's not the only name. And he shows them the wallet. And I'm like, oh, finally. But he should have told them about this sooner. Told him what he saw with Evie. Told him everything. So the head of, I'll just say the DEA, because the narcotics unit, let's put it that way. The narcotics unit comes, and he was under the impression that they had his man alive. And they show him on the table, on the autopsy table. So they had earlier spoken with Eve. They found her shopping for what she needed to cook. And she tells them, gives them a bit of an idea what's happening. It's the Ramos cartel, and she's doing this for Kane. And then we find out that they were in a relationship, and that's why she was pulled out of narcotics. So Dee, of course, put 2 and 2 together. Dee also found out that Evie has as her wallpaper, computer wallpaper, a picture of the two of them at the pier. And I think it was the episode where the two, where the older Navy guy marries his longtime love to prevent him from being extradited to the U.S. And so, like I said, they're dropping hints big time right now. I mean, I would love it if it was just these guys are good friends and they just care about each other, but I'm worried that society just can't allow that to happen. We just cannot show two people who are just really good friends, that the buddy cop only works for if you're the same sex. We can't have that for opposite sex. Obviously, if you're the same age and opposite sex, you have to want to bone each other. So I have no doubt this is going to happen, and it sucks. But, so Evie ends up spending the night at Kane's place. And she just lets Kane have it. And she just goes into Kane for not helping Robbie. And that they were supposed to be best friends. And what the hell happened? And he's like, you know, Robbie got paranoid towards the end. And I'm like, are you sure that didn't have something to do with the cocaine in his system? Because he obviously OD'd. I mean, come on. He had coke in his system because the jacket he was wearing was laced with it. I mean, it must have been a lot of cocaine. So, considering, I mean, who knows how long he was exposed to that. So, of course, he's going to get paranoid. Anyway, so, it looked like they were about to kiss, but she stopped it. Thank God. And all I could think of, because he is the third wheel, that he's the rival love interest, that he's going to die. I figured right then and there he's a dead man. He's not surviving this. And whether it's to protect Evie or she ends up having to kill him or something, but he was going to die. That was my prediction right then and there. Because she was, a little upset and cold with him. And I'm just thinking, dude, what is wrong with you? She's crying, she's upset, and you're going to go for sexy time. Anyway, so then NCIS figures out that, thanks to the head of the narcotics division, that El Maestro is going to be the one to come. He's going to come, and he's supposed to be this amazing cook, which makes me wonder why they needed Evie if someone is coming anyway. I guess first off, I didn't know you cooked coke. I thought you just cooked meth. So I'm already confused what drugs they're making here. Or maybe they're cooking meth, but they're using coke as a way to keep people bonded to the group, or I don't know. So they figure out when he's coming. Well, Blue figures out when he's coming. And so JD, at first Mackie wants to go in guns blazing. And JD's like, yeah, I don't think that's going to work very well. So Jess says she needs a calculator. Because, she needs exact amounts. She described it as cooking pasta. I didn't know pasta was that specific. Baking, souffle, those are specific amounts, but pasta? Okay. But she's not working with geniuses, so I guess that worked. So Kane gives her his phone, so she texts the others. And I just love this. Everyone seems to automatically have everyone's number. I mean, it's not her phone. Unless Kane didn't give her his phone, but hers. That he was just holding hers or something. I don't know. It was just bizarre. And she lets them know where they are. So they go to the gym. And like I said, JD pretends to be El Maestro. And I just love it. He's speaking Spanish. And I put that in quotes because he used the two words that literally anybody who watches Sesame Street would know. Actually, people who watch Sesame Street would know more than those two words, but still. Those are pretty universally known. At least in the U.S. So, which is hola and si. And it turns out he actually does know some Spanish, but I just love it. Pure Australian accent. He didn't even attempt to change up his accent. I'm like, nobody thinks that that's weird. He's called El Maestro, and he has an Aussie accent. But okay, nobody questions this. All right, fine. So, They attempt to cook, and immediately you see on their cameras Mackie and Dee. And Dee had some nice action scenes here. So did Mackie later on, but he claims that Mackie is his lawyer and about how basically you can't discriminate against people. Now, I don't know what the law is on Australia. In the US, that's true. I honestly have no idea about the laws in Australia if that applies, if they have discrimination laws. So Dee takes a running leap. He first knocks out the guy by showing him the pad and boom, through the pad, which, okay, that had to hurt. Not just the guy, but Dee. So then he takes a running leap to take out the camera, which, okay, that was cool. So they go in and they notice that the camera is out. You know, JD shows Evie that the cameras are out. And they're trying to get a hold of the guy who just got knocked out. So he goes to check what's going on, the big dumb guy. And so Dee is convinced that Kane is the bad guy, that he's the one who is, orchestrating this from the inside, because they had found Leeson, who they went to through the Navy shop and Navy ship shop, and they did not sell to this guy that jacket. And then he was later found dead. Apparently they thought he went AWOL, but no, he was tortured and killed. And on the other guy, the San Diego supply side, that guy was found dead. And so they also are looking around, and they find boxes of something. They looked like purple glow sticks, what JD took out of the boxes. So they get to, like I said, they're at the gym, and she runs into this officer, the head of the narcotics, and he said, "Oh, we have this place around." It's like, I have my guys here too. And then she gets a call from Blue. She had discovered that there was a circle, a dot on, a microdot on one of the canisters. And it turned out that Daniel Slayton, the head of this narcotics, was the one who was behind all of this. So Dee and JD are having the guns against Kane and the big dumb guy. And Eve is kind of stuck in the middle. She's just like, I have no idea what's happening. I have no idea who to believe, what's going on. And and the other reason I think that they're going to put her and Dee together is because they mentioned that she got pulled from her assignment because she was sleeping with Kane. So, yeah, they're dropping all sorts of hints, and like I said, I really hope I'm wrong. But anyway, so Mac, at first, he's at first like, okay, this place has canisters all over, so we shouldn't use our guns. So they both put their guns down and they fight. Because this was after she finds out that Slayton was the one who took these out of police impound. And so they fight, and she finally gets the best of him. And it was a decent fight. It was fun. I was enjoying it. And finally, she gets back to what I can only say is a form of a Mexican standoff, because those are usually with 3 people, and this was with 4. So, and she's like, "We gotta get out of here. This place is gonna blow." And oh, by the way, it was Slayton. He was setting Kane up, and Kane was telling them, "Someone set me up. I'm not the one behind this." So all 4 of them managed to get out, because Big Dumb Guy, even though he's there, oh wait, no, he wasn't there. It was a Mexican standoff. He was not there, because he still went to check on what happened to the other guy. And so he goes and he tries to shoot them, and Slayton is trying to stop him, because he knows exactly what's going to happen. Everybody's going to be blown sky high. So all of them did manage to escape, plus Kane. So I was wrong about that. Kane did survive. I'm actually happy about that. It's obvious that even though he still has feelings for Eve Eve's moved on. She's had her fun, and she's done with him. She wants nothing more from him. Now, the skeptical side of me that does not trust these shows as far as I can throw them thinks it's because she's eventually going to get together with Dee. But I'd rather think that she's, not happy with the way he went about this whole thing. It's like, okay, you don't want to blow your cover, but that doesn't mean you have to, act like the person who worked for you, because he was their cook, that it was perfectly okay for us to run away like we're guilty of something instead of helping him. So yeah, she is obvious, totally not into him anymore. And so then we get them back at NCIS headquarters, and Evie is, first Dee is trying to fix her drawer, which she broke. I don't know why he didn't just tell Blue what was up, instead of trying to be sneaky. Oh, she left early, and, she, doesn't have she locked the key in the drawer. Which, why? Why was that even needed? I mean, anyway, so he attempted to fix her drawer. She immediately grabs the handle and it immediately falls off. So much for that. And, he even, when they asked him about his bruise, they said, he's like, oh yeah, it was from that missing link from the beginning of the episode. And I'm just screaming, why? Why not say that you followed Evie and she's in some trouble, and in order to not break her cover, she punched you? I mean, why? Why were you hiding this? So Mackie did yell at him that they would have, had been able to do more sooner if he just, opened up and told people shit. So, I hope that this isn't going to be the new thing that they're going to do, that people are going to hide shit from others, because, that annoys me. There's enough drama in these shows. You do not need to lie to people. Anyway, so they're back, and Mackie and JD are again having good-natured ribbing about who is the true goat, who's the better of the two. And so you see them fighting towards the end. But before that, Eve thinks that Mackie's going to fire her. And so she turns in her badge, which is the AFP. Now, she's NCIS, not AFP. So, how can you fire someone from the Australian Federated Police when you yourself aren't a member of that? She's part of the NCIS AFP task force. So she can fire her from the task force, but not from the police force. So I thought that was weird. And Mackie could have said, yeah, I've done crazy stunts myself, don't worry about it. But she was just like, I like having you around. And you did almost single-handedly bring down a cartel, so yeah, we'll keep you, but don't make a habit of it. So, I'm not surprised she didn't fire her. I just don't think she had the authority to. So, yeah, there are certain things about this show that you're like, huh? That makes no sense. But for the most part, it's a fun, silly show. Well, usually it's silly. This one was less silly. This one was more realistic. Let's see if I'm missing anything. I don't believe so. I wonder if it's just going to be D from now on who's going to be comic relief. I think I preferred him being the damsel in distress. But anyway, I think I've covered this episode as much as I can. So with that, I will see you guys in the next video.